Did you know, before starting even on that track, did you know kind of what sound you wanted for the song?
Yeah, for sure. I had been listening to a lot of like Surge, a lot of Al Green at that time, a lot of Lee Moses, a lot of Sly Stone stuff too. Again, I like revisited all that stuff. So I was like, what if these people came together and formed a super group? Like, what would happen with that? And then I talked to Danger about like kind of like not dumbing the guitars down, but not making it as guitar heavy, and just like keeping the bass vibe going because I'm a huge fan of like James Jamerson and like his bass style and whatnot. So, yeah.
And especially with because you have a lot of influences throughout the years. It's too many to mention. So especially
Right.
that era of music, what kind of pulled you into that era of music?
It's just classic, man. That stuff. I think that there's nothing new under the sun. Like it's already been done before, and they did it the best. You know what I mean? So it's just like that shit is so fucking good, man. Like why if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? The only thing you can do is just like do it the best way you can and try to like put a new spin on it. So just make it as much like own it as much as you possibly can. But shit has already been done before, man, and it's good. Like it never gets old.
And like you say, you have to live life a little bit to have stuff to write about.
Exactly.
So when do you know that you have enough material or enough stored up so you can write an album?
I don't think it works like that, man. You know, at least it doesn't work like that for me because I'm always constantly writing songs. Like even if I'm just like mentally cataloging something, if it's just a melody or whatever, it's like it's always there. So if I'm put into a studio situation to where I'm writing a song for somebody, or I'm working on my own project, then I'm pulling from stuff that's there. You know what I mean? Or if someone has like an idea, then I'm borrowing something from what's in my catalog and trying to like collaborate with them with what they have. So it's just an ongoing thing. Like I said, it's a lifestyle. It can like I wasn't like necessarily in the studio writing songs throughout that whole business process, but I still had stuff that I was thinking about. And that's why I felt like it was neglect. It's like all this shit in my mind, all these children, I need to be able to put it down and record it, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't have the time to do it. Didn't necessarily have all the finances to do it right away, you know? So
well, that's an element of the music business as well. And I've talked with other musicians about this, where kind of you have the creative aspect and then the business side, which are kind of two things that don't mesh very well. So how do you balance these two things?
Through collaboration, man. Like I talked to Danger, and me and him were like, okay, we're gonna make it work, you know. So that's one way to do it. The other way is just to have a goal in mind of like, you know, how you want to come across and how you want to represent yourself. The other way is just to have an acoustic guitar and just say fuck everything and just take yourself. That's another way, just joking, but that is one way you can do it. But you know, it's always going to be that push and that pull, you know.
Because during this whole process, is that in the back of your mind that you want the album to do well because, like you say, you want to be able to continue doing this?
Yeah, that's part of it. But I just want people to dig it, man. I want people to hear it, and I want it to be like the best, you know, the best thing I could possibly do at that time, you know. Not saying that you ever arrive. I think that if you feel like you get to a point to where you're like, oh, I'm fucking there, I did it. It's like you're doing the wrong shit, man, you know. But you want to do the best you can at where you are, and that's really what it is. And like to me, Danger and Sam are like some of the best that I know. So I was like, it would be fucking awesome to do a record with these cats.
Can you give me an example of something that they pulled out of you that you might have not been able to do on your own?
I feel like I can do everything. Like I said, relinquishing control. It's the first time I ever worked with like producers before. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I co-produced the record myself too, but it's the first time that I've ever worked with like producers. Like Danger is obviously a dope fucking producer, and Sam himself, I didn't really know him until we started recording. So just like walking into a situation like that without even knowing somebody and immediately connecting with them on a musical, that's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Like to meet just like the first initial meeting to like be like, oh, we get each other and to move forward to make a record out of that, that's not easy to do. So yeah, I've never experienced that before.
And well, one track on the album, sonically at least, stood out to me, which was Dreamgirl. So how did
that was more so Sam. That was Sam's idea.
Okay.
Sam Cohen. So And then we also were like, all right, we need a dance track because on Soul Power, I got Heaven's on the Other Side because I'm like a huge fan of like disco. It's like, so what can we do that's kind of like that, but take it to another level? And Dreamgirl is that. And I initially didn't like the track when he first like played it for. I was like, it's okay, it's all right. But then we just kept going. Like I said, I just kind of let go of like that control, and it worked out. And it kind of had to be a dope fucking song, man.
And you mentioned the word mood earlier. So
Yeah.
how important is a mood on each track? Is it very dependent on how you feel at that certain specific moment?
Yeah, it's really about how the chord progression. Well, yeah, I guess it's about you. It's like whatever you're feeling at that time. It's music to me is a feel thing for sure. That's the most important, man. It's like, how does it make you feel, as opposed to like trying to like make it feel like something. It's like, how do you you know what I mean? Like it has to be a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you pull songs from somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like they don't just come out of you. You know what I mean? It comes from like the experience or whatever. So how am I feeling? How did that make me feel? How do you feel about that? Like what is this chord like saying to me? Like where are we at right now? Now, what are we talking about? What is that emotion? You know what I mean? So
with that in mind, then I want to move to the title track, Face Your Fear. What was the mood? Because I read somewhere it was based on a dream you had.
Yeah, it was like a recurring nightmare that I had, man. And I'm not gonna go into depth about that, but it's like, all right, I can dig it. And like when we were like writing the song, I was like, it feels like I need to kind of confirm myself that it's gonna be okay. So the song is actually a positive thing, you know what I mean? It's just like after you go through all this like emotional and dramatic turmoil of maybe even nothing happening, because it's just a fucking dream, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be all right, just chill, just relax. You know, everybody has this stuff, so face it. And on a larger scale, I feel like it's something that everyone needs to hear right now. With all the shit that's going on in the world, man, like in America, with all the racial tension, all that shit is fear-based.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, people fear what they don't understand, man. If they don't understand some shit, then it makes them mad, it makes them upset, and then it takes it to another place. But if you really just took the time and just like faced that fear and sat down and got to know, maybe have a conversation with somebody, then you probably be cool, man. You might have more in common than you have a lot, you know what I mean? Like.
And then we return to the healing powers of music.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The mental fucking sickness, dude.
Right. But and then a lot of, like you say, it's based on personal feeling. But do you think about the larger, well, political system is not the right word, but the larger world when you write these songs?
Not when I'm writing. I mean, it's more so for me.
Okay.
And then like I feel like if it's a contribution to someone's cause, like in a positive cause, then yeah, that's great. But it's more so for me, man. Like music to me, like I said, is healing, and it's like it's the way that I give back to the music and give back to, you know, to myself first and foremost, because you have to have that. Like if you're not well within yourself, my mother always said charity starts at home, and home is where the heart is. My heart is in my chest, so I need to make sure that I'm cool first. Otherwise, I can't help anybody else. You know what I mean? So it starts with you. So
finally, then, how do you, with what we've discussed in mind, how do you experience the live shows? The live shows. Is it kind of an exchange, like you say?
Yeah, it has to be a give and take. Like a lot of times you feed off of the crowd's energy, you know what I mean? And then like with our band, the band that I have now, it's like we kind of, and in the past bands too, we play off each other. If we're not really feeling like that we're getting a lot of energy from the crowd, then we just play, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's nothing contrived. Of course I want to step up like the stage production and stuff like that, but that's more so just to like set a mood for us, just to be into it. So you got to keep it fresh and interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Curtis, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, man.